Wir haben nichts gefunden.
Das ist unmöglich. Weitermachen.
Jawohl.
Hello and welcome to part 1 of Let's Play Hidden and Dangerous 2. If you're a new viewer, then welcome to the channel, etc. If you're one of my subscribers already and you're wondering why the hell I'm not doing a New Vegas Let's Play like I said I would, the answer is I simply couldn't be bothered, actually. I'm afraid that's the brutal honest truth of it. I'm already doing one kind of quote-unquote heavy-duty Let's Play at the minute, which takes a lot of effort to record and such, in the form of Oblivion. And I decided, you know what, I could really do without doing 2 of those simultaneously, so I opted to do something else which I'd been wanting to do for a while, which was a bit more laid back and a little less frustrating. And that something is Hidden and Dangerous 2. Now, some of you who've been subscribed to my channel for a long time may remember my very short-lived Let's Play of the original Hidden and Dangerous. It didn't last very long, mainly because it's a very old game and I wasn't particularly enjoying recording it very much, so I kind of just left it. However, Hidden and Dangerous 2 is a vastly superior game. I've put hundreds of hours into it. In my youth, I replayed it many times, and it's one of the few games which I have owned more than one copy of. The others probably being just Thief 2, Age of Empires 2, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. So yeah, not a lot of games really I bothered to buy more than once, but this was one of them, and with good reason. It is a tactical squad-based shooter set in World War II, where you play as the SAS, the Special Air Service, which was a elite commando unit within the British Army during the Second World War. Not a lot of World War II games that feature the British, so I may be biased when I say how much I enjoy this game, if I'm honest. But yeah, no, it's a good game. I really do like it. It's in many ways kind of like an Arma 2 almost of World War II, although it's a lot more linear and far less buggy. Well, not that this game doesn't have its fair share of glitches itself. However, anyway, I enjoyed this a lot. I've decided it's about high time I shared it with you guys. Anyone who knows me in real life knows that I'm a bit of a World War II nut. I pretty much grew up on watching old war films from the 60s and 70s repeatedly, building little airfix models of airplanes and tanks, you know, all that sort of thing, dressing up as army soldiers, that kind of nonsense. Yeah, I really like World War II. Bit of a World War II nut. And I'm especially fond of all those old films, and this game, as you probably kind of got the impression from during the opening cutscene there, this game kind of taps into that a little bit, which I really like. So anyway, I think we should probably get started, and I should stop waffling, eh? So this game has a bunch of game modes. It has multiplayer as well, which I used to play quite a bit too, but we're not going to be doing any of that. It has a bunch of game modes. It has campaign, which is pretty much what it says on the tin. You must progress through all of the campaigns and their individual missions in chronological order to complete the game. Your unit may contain up to 4 men. This is, as I said, a squad-based shooter. You have a unit which can be up to 4 men in size. They are each individual soldiers with different stats and abilities and so on and so forth. You have Lone Wolf mode, which is the exact same thing, except you're only allowed to take 1 man, so you have to go do it alone, Medal of Honor style, which is very difficult. You have Carnage mode as well, which is like campaign, except it's got more difficult mission objectives, and you have to destroy every enemy on the map in each mission to proceed to the next one. So it's a little tricky, a little difficult. I'm not going to be doing it. I've never really played Carnage mode very much, actually, to be honest. I've always got plenty of fun just out of campaign. The single missions down here, they literally just allow you to replay a particular mission from the campaign in either, you know, the normal mode or in Carnage mode. We're going to be doing, needless to say, the Ordinary campaign. I do own a copy of the Saber Squadron expansion for this game, however, I'm not going to be playing it in this Let's Play. Maybe in future, maybe it's a thing we'll do, but not in this Let's Play. We'll have our hands full with just the Ordinary campaign as it is. So, without further ado, here we go. You get this at the start of each mini campaign that forms part of the big grand campaign. This screen, team member selection. You have a whole bunch of different soldiers to choose from. They all have their own individual names, their individual backgrounds, as you can see here. This chap, for example, was the son of a Polish sales representative living in Great Britain. Prior to the war, he taught physical education in Edinburgh, apparently. Fascinating. They all have each have individual stats. This game, while being a squad-based shooter, primarily, it does have a few RPG-esque aspects to it. I don't know if you'd really call that an RPG-esque aspect to it, really, though, in all fairness. In many ways, it actually reminds me of the original XCOM, in that you have a set of statistics like this, which are actually quite important. They're worth paying attention to when you select your team members for each campaign. And the other more important thing is that you can rename soldiers by clicking on their name like that. You can give them a completely different name. That's going to be one of the big features of this Let's Play, I've decided. Whenever we did XCOM in the past, and I renamed team members to people that happened to be watching during the stream, or, you know, to the names of subscribers and stuff, people really, really enjoyed it. So, I've decided that's what I'm going to be doing in this Let's Play. Because why the hell not? I'm not going to simply pick subscriber names at random and assign them to soldiers, for the simple reason that it's no fun if someone gets picked who doesn't even watch my videos anymore. I have nearly 3,000 subscribers at the minute, and it's fairly safe to say not all of them watch my videos anymore. In fact, I think most of them probably don't. They subscribed and just got bored with the videos and then forgot to unsub. So, there's no fun if half the guys I pick don't even watch these videos anymore. So what I'm going to do is, basically, if you do leave a comment on this video, I will take all the names of people who commented on this video, and I will put you all into a hat, and I will draw you out at random, and the first 3 names that come out will be the names of the first 3 team members that accompany me in the first campaign. Don't worry, though, if you don't get picked as the first 3. Invariably, team members will probably die over the course of various campaigns, and they will have to be replaced, and then I will just draw another name out of the hat, and, you know, you'll replace whichever poor unfortunate sod got killed. Right now, though, I'm only going to pick one soldier. Just me. Jingles. The reason for that is because what we're about to do is the tutorial level. Now, normally I'd probably consider skipping a tutorial level, but this one's quite large and extensive, and it'd be a shame to cut some of it out. Also, because I've not played this game in quite a long time, and frankly I'm a bit rusty actually, and I wouldn't mind reacquainting myself with some of the game mechanics, really, before I go jump headfirst into one of the campaigns. So, this entire video here is going to be the entirety of the training level. Probably be an extra long video because it's quite a long training level. Let me tell you, it's a big tutorial. And as a result, that's why I'm saying now leave a comment. And in the next video, when we start the actual campaign proper, I will have some names picked. So for now, it's just going to be me. There we go, Jingles, Corporal. I have a magnificent mustache. This particular soldier's got a fairly well-rounded set of stats as well. High endurance, which I quite like. Decent shooting, decent stealth, you know, all that kind of goodness. And yeah, like I said, he's got a massive mustache. So that's going to be me for this campaign. And in a normal campaign, as opposed to this training mission, I will be joined by 3 team members, as I said, which could be named after you watching. So, let's continue, shall we? Yes, I would like to select the only soldier available as the active soldier. Game, come on. Right, training. All who decide to join the ranks of the elite SAS are experienced and battle-hardened warriors. Many of us are officers, but here in a training camp deep in the woods, everybody is equal. one like the other, we have to go through the training course, obey younger instructors, and respect their commands and rules. So, yes, there's a grain of truth to this, of course. The SAS were real. They existed in World War II. They were recruited from all the different services, the Air Force, the Navy, the Army. They were even recruited from, sort of foreigners who were from the countries occupied by Germany in 1940. There were a lot of Polish, Czechoslovakian members of the SAS, after all. So we were at one of those boot camps that they train the SAS at, and we are going to be doing basically the tutorial level in one of those boot camps. So I will stop waffling and let's get on with it.
This weather is perfect. Rain and mud. Just the way we like it here. Even your own mother won't recognise you by the time I get through with you. But looking at you, that won't be such a bad thing. Okay now, pay attention. You need to get through the snake track. And remember, I'll be watching you, so there better be no dawdling. Then over the game planks and climb over all of the wooden fences. Then up the wall as though the devil himself was after you, and down through the trenches. You best stand beyond your belly, soldier, to stay under the razor wire. I want you to taste the dirt, so let's see what you can do. Move it!
Yes. Well, here we go. There are a lot of things you can praise this game for. Sadly, voice acting and well-written dialogue are not among them. But anyway, let's get on with the obstacle course here. This is a World War II shooter after all, so it does include an obligatory obstacle course level. I honestly don't think I've played a World War II shooter that didn't have an obstacle course level in it, really, of some description. So here we are. We have third-person view here. We can also go into first-person view. It's kind of almost Elder Scrolls-esque in that respect, I suppose. In fact, the control setup I currently have is very much like the Elder Scrolls games. In fact, if I press tab, yeah, there we go. There's my inventory and stats. So, yeah. However, this game has a lot of controls, a lot of buttons. If I had to compare it to any other game, I would compare it, in fact, to probably the Armour games, because it is that level of sort of pseudo-realism and just sheer number of commands and buttons that the game requires you to memorize. So it's one of the reasons I'm doing this tutorial. Right, I don't know if you heard that, but he was basically telling us that well done, Maggot, for completing the obstacle course. Now we have to bugger off and do some more of the training. And before I do that, however, I will apologise for... Well, I don't know if they're going to be there in the final video. I might be able to do some stuff in editing. But I will apologise for the big ugly black bars at the side of the screen if they are there. Unfortunately, this game does not support 16:9 resolutions because it's simply that freaking old. This game came out, I think, 2000. It's either 2001 or 2003. I can't remember which. But in either case, it's bloody old. And as a result, the graphics settings are a bit lacking. It's unfortunately not managed to get a remake or a re-release on something like GOG.com. So if you were to buy this game, you would in fact have to buy one of the original box copies from Amazon or something. I'm going to just pause here for a second, though, while I check that my sound levels are all sort of hunky-dory and correct and not overpowering. And I'll be back in a second, so hang on. Brilliant! Everything does appear to be working as intended. Right now... I do like this bit of the game, actually. My gamer instinct is telling me, oh, well, okay, next station he's had to travel to, so it must be this guy here, surely. But actually...
What are you waiting for? Move! Can't you read English? The sign says exit, now move.
Indeed it does.
Do you have a problem with English? I told you, the entrance is on the other side of the building. This is the exit.
Yep. So, I'm afraid that happened to be the first time I ever played this game, and I felt very silly, because the game is like that.
So, you made it this far. Well done. My name's Blair. I hope you like the weather we've laid on for you. Okay, soldier, you came here to learn how to shoot, so let's see what you can do.
Brilliant. Now we are going to be able to shoot some guns, which is always fun.
That's a Colt 1911 on the table, and the one next to it is an Enfield 38. Whenever you're out of ammo, look for a crate like this. You may find all kinds of items in them, like ammo magazines, grenades and guns. Pick one and let's see how you do on the firing range. I want you to shoot the wooden targets.
Ooh, what do we got then? Enfield 38 revolver and a Colt 1911. I'm personally partial to the Colt. It has at least a higher magazine capacity anyway, so I don't think we'll need that much ammo, but there we go. It says at the bottom right there 7-3. The 3 is the number of magazines we have as opposed to the number of bullets we have. This game, instead of giving you the kind of like that most shooters have, that kind of ammo pool, where it lists how many bullets you have in reserve, this game, it gives you magazines instead, and you can see them in your inventory here. 21 bullets in total divided into 3 magazines. So if you fire off, like, say, half this magazine, then reload, you will still have 1 magazine in your inventory with half its ammo gone. So you have to really pay attention when you're reloading and stuff to your ammo supplies. It's one of the things I really like about this game. It has all these little touches like that make it feel a lot more realistic. So anyway, let's take down these targets. Shooting from the hip with the pistol, because it's the only way you can with the pistol. This may be the only time you get to see the pistol in action, by the way.
Okay, now you've got the hang of them, we'll move on. Leave the guns here.
We don't have a choice about that, by the way. It will disappear. There we go.
Let's go.
Probably the only time you'll get to see the pistol, because pistols are rubbish in this game, and they're not worth their weight in gold.
That's a Thompson. You may have heard the lads call it a Tommy gun. It can be used with a drum magazine, but that makes it noisy when the bullets rattle through. So if the drum's attached, it's no good for stealth missions. Next to it is a BAR. I'm sure you're familiar with it. Let's take a look at you now. When firing, brace yourself for the recoil. You have to hold it right or you could easily miss the side of a barn. To aim, it's best to kneel or lay down. But there's not always time for that.
Right. I'm personally partial to the Thompson. We won't actually get to use the Tommy gun in the first campaign, funnily enough. You know, I'm just going to stand up, it's easier. There we go. Because the game is basically the start of each campaign, you choose from a big pool of equipment which equipment your guys are going to carry throughout the entire campaign and take with them. And as each campaign progresses and you get later on into the war, different types of equipment and weapons will become available to you as they essentially become available
for the next recruit and follow me.
During the war itself. And for some reason...
Now I'll show you something a bit more specialised.
For some reason, in the first campaign, as I recall, I might be wrong, but in the first campaign I think, the Tommy gun isn't actually available to you for some reason.
This is a Springfield with a scope. If it was up to me, you rookies would never even get to touch it until you've proved yourselves in combat. But it's my job to make sure you know how to use it. You won't get your hands on it too often, so make the most of it now.
I'm going to kneel down here, should make it easier. Yes, this is one of many sniper rifles in the game. You're probably familiar with it if you've played any World War II shooters in the last 10 years. Okay, you can also, I think you can hold your breath. Yeah, if you press the F button. There we go. You will notice that I'm shooting at the chest rather than the head. The reason for that is, well, so I can make a point, actually. Because in this game, you know, you don't necessarily want to go for a headshot. That might seem daft. Because your first-person shooter instincts are telling you, oh, headshots are insta-kills. Well, in this game, that's not really the case. That might sound dumb, but actually it's sort of not. Basically, in this game, as you would expect...
Right. Put the gun down and let's move on.
Most enemies wear helmets, and your allies too. And if you shoot someone in the head and they're wearing a helmet, then chances are... Are you going to say something now?
This is the Browning machine gun. It's a serious piece of hardware and deadly in combat. Let's see how you handle it. Shoot out the bullseyes on the wooden targets.
Chances are, if you hit someone in the head, the helmet's going to stop the bullet. And that's the case in this game. So if you shoot a German soldier in the back of the head, the bullet will bounce off his helmet. It'll probably knock the helmet off his head, but it won't kill him. And the same goes for you. If you get shot in the head and you're wearing a helmet, then you should be okay. So in this game, it's generally wiser to aim for the chest or the belly when you're shooting and when you're sniping, because it will do the job just as well.
Well done. When you join your unit, be sure to tell them it was me that taught you how to shoot straight.
And it's a much easier target. So there you go. You get to see this all in action later on anyway.
This one was pretty good, Craig. Him? I hope he can shoot better than he can read.
Ha ha ha. Anyway, I'm currently walking at the moment. Another thing to note about this game, you can see there in the bottom left there are 4 little arrows. They change when I scroll my mouse wheel. There are 4 speeds you can move at in this game. The slowest is sneaking, like this, followed by walking, followed by sort of jogging, followed by sprinting, which drains your endurance bar, which is the little, very difficult to see grey bar down at the bottom left, next to the green bar, next to my character's portrait. Higher endurance you've got, the longer you can sprint for in this game, by the way. That's why I like this particular soldier, because he can sprint for quite a long time, because he has high endurance. That movement control is controlled with a mouse wheel, because it's much easier that way than just assigning individual buttons. And but however, you're gonna have to forgive me, because naturally my natural instinct is to press shift to walk or run or whatever, and I will consistently forget to use the mouse wheel instead to control my movement in this game. So I'll probably end up walking into walls and
seen you here yet. You're new, aren't you?
doing all sorts of stupid stuff like that.
You look like a capable sort of chap, so I'll be brief. On the left are attack grenades, type number 69. They detonate immediately upon impact. The others are type number 36. They're much more efficient and have a time-delayed detonator. The heaviest piece of equipment you'll see here is the bazooka. Be careful which end you aim with. If you get it wrong, you won't be too popular with what's left of your unit. So make sure you get it right. Okay, show me what you can do. Hit the wooden targets and then aim for the tank as it moves across the back of the range. The barrel over there must be destroyed as well.
Excellent. We get to play with some explosives. Now this bit's a little awkward because one of these little wooden targets, specifically that one over there, and I think one of the ones over here, are actually slightly bugged, but we'll hopefully get around it without too much bother and proceed with the rest of the bloody tutorial. So I'll be having these, providing we can actually fit them all. Yeah, we got them all in our pouches, which, as you can see, right, here's the inventory screen. Here's basically a decent chance to explain it. You have, well, you can hold an item in your hands. You can hold a weapon on your shoulder as well as in your hands. So you can carry 2 weapons at any given time, including a pistol on your pouches. You can have a hat on your head. In this case, I am wearing a paratrooper helmet, which weighs 2 kilograms. You can wear different uniforms. So you can pick a uniform at the beginning of most campaigns out of a number of different ones. It doesn't actually have any effect. It's just a cosmetic thing. However, that's different. However, you can also get disguises in the game to help you fool the Germans into thinking you are one of them. But I'll get into that a bit more later. And you have a backpack as well, typically, which opens up the backpack section here of the inventory. You can take these off, apart from the uniform. So I can drop my backpack on the ground. I can in fact take my helmet off even if I so wish. There we go, see? Also notice you can't see it very well because unfortunately I can't pan the camera around to the front of us to see the front of us. But you can see some of the grenades are actually on our person, on our belts and stuff right now. Like when you equip an item in your pouches and stuff in this game, it does actually appear on the soldier, which I think is pretty neat. Nice little attention to detail. So yeah, you can pretty much pick up and drop like almost any item in this game, which is pretty neat. Automatically equip those back on. So yeah, when you got the backpack off, obviously you can't use the backpack slots here, which means you can carry far less stuff. Also, different backpacks have different capacities to them, like different number of objects you can carry in them, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we've got a whole bunch of grenades right now, and I'm going to try throwing them at these dudes. Right here I've got the Type 69 grenades, these things, which will explode on impact, so they're way more dangerous. And I've got the Type 36, which are the kind of pineapple grenades, which you're probably far more familiar with. I'm going to try using these up first, just because I feel far less nervous about them. If I right-click to throw it, I can do an underarm swing, which I just did there. Or if I left-click to throw... In fact, I need to equip another one. You can also press just G to throw a grenade, and that's an automatic overarm throw like that. There we go. Or, as I was saying, you can equip one... Let's use one of the Type 69s. You can equip one in your hand and then right-click to do an underarm throw, like so. It's all about range and angle of throwing them and stuff like that, but there's no real, I suppose, serious difference between them. Let's see if we can take out that barrel. Come on. There we go. So yeah, they're good in an open space when you're fighting outdoors, generally speaking, but I tend to stick to the Type 32s, just because they're a lot safer. At least you have time to run away from those things if you cock it up. Anyway, so we're going to need the bazooka now. Take as many rockets as I can carry, which isn't actually very many. Because bazooka rockets actually have to go into your backpack for some reason. You can't have them on your pouches. Now then. First of all, let's get rid of this tank. Well, quote-unquote tank. Unfortunately, tanks in this game will not go down that easily from a bazooka hit. Real ones, anyway. So now we've got these two, this cardboard guy and this cardboard guy over here, who unfortunately are bugged out, and we are going to have to shoot directly in the face with the bazooka to make them go down. They are completely unaffected by grenades for some reason. It's very irritating. Unfortunately, this... can't take any more. Right, okay. Unfortunately, this fella over here is very difficult to hit, so you're going to have to bear with me, I'm afraid. Well, reloading would help first, yeah. I'm the SAS, I'm best of the best. Oh, there we go. First hit. Nice.
Well done, old boy. That's
Indeed, old boy.
Move on to the next station.
Will do. They're all very British around here. The voice acting in this game is, they didn't skimp on the voice actors. Like, thankfully, they didn't get a bunch of Americans doing quote-unquote English accents. They actually got English voice actors, which I love. Hello.
The sergeant needs someone to try out the new diving equipment up at the pool, and you've just been volunteered.
Oh dear.
Take the jeep and tell him I sent you. When he's finished with you, bring the jeep back here or I'll have your guts for garters.
Right, well, yep. Here we go. In the jeep. There are vehicles in this game, as you can see. Let's see at the side there, we've got the speed. We've also... I think these vehicles actually have a certain amount of fuel in them as well. This, I think, currently has a full tank, so we've got nothing to worry about. But in some missions, you will have vehicles, but they're very, very low on fuel, and you can only drive them around for so long. So it's something to bear in mind. So, yeah, here we go. In the jeep. Not the easiest vehicle to drive in the world, if I'm honest. But there it is. And apparently we've got to drive up to the swimming pool to test out the new diving equipment, which should be a barrel of laughs. Thankfully I know the way. That is the exit over there, and we can have an amusing conversation with this gentleman over here if we do try to exit.
What are you doing here? Do you have a pass?
No.
Well, guess where you'll be going.
And we can bother him further, I think.
Look, I know training's no fun, but if I see your ugly face here again, I will put you on report. Now get back there.
He's not kidding, by the way. He will put you on report, and you will fail the entire tutorial if you continue to bother him. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hop in. In fact, I'm not going to hop in here. I'm going to... I don't think this guy actually says anything. We're actually going to go in here. Because in here, there are some binoculars. And, ooh, and a button. I never saw that before. I wonder what that does. Switch. Oh my. Unfortunately, I can't save the game, so I'm really kind of... I'm tempted to push the switch, but I don't know what will happen. Perhaps we shouldn't. The game likes to kind of be a dick about things like that. Like I said, that guy will fail the tutorial for you if you continue to bother him. And maybe at the end of the tutorial we'll go press the switch. That's what we'll do. If we're able to. It might just auto-quit us out of it. That way... I don't know. I can't remember what's actually this way. I don't remember at all. Whoa! Let's not crash into the telegraph pole. That would be a good start. Oh, right. This just brings us back down around to the obstacle course. Very well. This way to the swimming pool. Yeah, here we are. There we go. Training pool, depot, command, main barracks, infirmary, main store, and kitchens. Stop.
Ah, good, a volunteer. Charlie sent you, didn't he? This task is a little bit complicated, so listen carefully to me. Behind this fence is a guarded area with a swimming pool. What I want you to do is to sneak into the area without being detected by the guards. Then, you'll have to enter the building and search for the diving equipment hidden inside. When you find it, put it on. Dive into the pool and search the bottom for dog tags. Collect them and bring them to me. Remember, if a guard notices your presence, the alarm will be raised and you'll feel. Oh, and leave the diving equipment where you found it. Otherwise the guard will notice and become suspicious. Now, take this wire cutter because the gate's locked. Cut through the fence and go. I'll wait here.
Righto. You can in fact fail this. If you do, nothing much will actually happen. He'll just be a bit cross with you. So, let's do it. Thankfully, I picked up the binoculars, so I can press B and get a better look at things. So, I don't believe you can go into that bit over there, wherever that is. Ah, there's the guard. Hello there. This game, especially in the stealthier missions, will involve, unfortunately, a lot of sitting around and waiting for guards to go do their patrolling and stuff like that. Now then, we currently don't actually have our backpack because it's been taken off us, but we do have wire cutters and basically bugger all else. Now, this game does have a stealth system. It's fairly rudimentary, but it gets the job done. Especially in exteriors, like you're more or less visible depending on whether or not you're crouching or lying down, and also how fast you're moving as well. So let's use the wire cutters on here and get through here before the guard comes around on the patrol. Let's crawl on through. Crawling slowly makes the least amount of noise. We can actually sneak crawl like that. We're barely moving at all. Oh, look, we can get a nice look at our moustache if I if I go around like that. Apparently, the camera will in fact pan around for whatever reason. There we go. Lovely, great moustache, excellent, worthy of an SAS team leader. I do say so. Where the hell is this guy? Whoa, 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 whoa! I don't want to. Actually, no, we should be okay. We're out of visual contact. We're now just relying on not giving ourselves away by making too much noise. As you can see, like I said before, if something's in your pouches, it will be added to your actual physical model. So as you can see, the wire cutters are that thing hanging from my belt there, and you might just be able to see there the binoculars around my neck. So again, I really like that. It's a neat little touch. I kind of wish they did it in more games, if I'm honest. Like the Elder Scrolls games, would be great if they did it in that. Yes, enemy sighted. You get little messages that pop up at the top left there. Your character will actually say enemy sighted, as in audibly say that, to alert the other team members. Currently we don't have any other team members, so he's not saying anything, and also we're in stealth mode because we're moving very slowly, and therefore he's not saying anything. Hopefully, if we just creep along here like this, he won't spot us. Oh, Christ. Right, now I think the guards in this game suffer from Metal Gear Solid syndrome, where they can't see to their left or right. They can only see in front. So we should be okay. And now we've just got to get in here. Pick the lock as well. Lock picking's a thing in this game. Not much to it, mind you. It's just a little bar like you saw there. Close the door. And here we are. These are the changing rooms. Now, the diving equipment's in one of these. I just can't remember which one. It's in here. Yeah, here we go. Right. Aqualung. This is a real bit of equipment they did use during the war. The SAS Frogmen and such did use them. You may be able to see that we cannot, in fact, run while we have the Aqualung equipped, because as you can see, we have rubber flippers, which make it incredibly difficult to run. In fact, it makes it impossible to run if you've ever used flippers before in real life. So there we go. We also have the diving mask on. I'll be able to see it better if I take off my helmet, actually. There are a few missions in this game where you do have to do underwater stuff, using miniature submarines and things like that, and diving equipment like this. So that's why it's giving us this little tutorial here. And now we're going to have to swim down here and grab these dog tags. Somehow. There we go. We have the dog tags. The air doesn't run out in the Aqualung, by the way. It's pretty much unlimited air. There we go. I shall... Can we climb out of here, please? There we go. Pick up my helmet. Can I put the Aqualung in my backpack? No, it uses the back slot, so yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Right, he said to leave the diving equipment behind, so that's what we'll do. There we go. And now we just have to sneak back the way we came without being spotted. Probably easier said than done, if I'm honest. We can lean from side to side, I believe. Yep, enemy spotted, so he's right here. I can just hear his footsteps outside. He's walking right past the door. Let's not open it and surprise him. That would be a bad idea. A very bad idea. Don't do that. I think he's passed by now. See if we can go take a look. Yep, there he is. Now let's be on our way, I think. In fact, you know what? Fuck it, let's sprint. Let's not waste any time. Run, Forest. Where is he? He's over there. He can't see us from here. There we go. Mission accomplished.
Excellent. I like you. Well done. Proceed
thank
to the
you.
next station.
Right, proceed to the next station. We now have to drive the Jeep back to the fellow at the vehicle depot, or whatever the hell that was back there. The garage, I suppose. Garage. No, we're not going to bother him, or indeed run him over. That would be a bad idea. That would also fail us the tutorial. Before I do park this again, I will demonstrate that you can sit in the other seats of the vehicle, like the side seat here, both the back seats, like so. And when you're sitting in those, you can actually fire your weapon from them and stuff like that, so something worth bearing in mind. Although generally speaking, driving around in a Jeep willy-nilly while enemies are around is probably a very bad idea, because it will get you shot and killed.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Doesn't sound particularly happy, but anyway. Right, okay, I believe... Well, the penultimate station is over here.
At last. Did you stop off for tea on the way here?
Not quite.
Follow me. This way.
This is where we get to play with the really big explosives. Extreme danger beyond this point, people.
I've prepared some explosives here. You'll be needing them for demolition work on your missions, so it's important that you know how to use them safely. You can see that they're in ordinary satchels, so they don't draw attention. Well, until they're activated, that is. There are a couple of things that you need to remember about handling explosives. Before you detonate them, you must be sure that your unit is positioned safely away from the blast area. Secondly, be sure to place them so that they cause the maximum amount of damage to the target. Don't use explosives in a location that'll kill only one enemy soldier. That's what your knife is for. Now, take the explosives and go behind the blast walls. Place the explosives near the wooden roadblocks and quickly come back.
Righto. He's not kidding, by the way. Well, there'll be plenty of things to blow up in the campaigns ahead. And yeah, there we go. Look, the original satchel charge. And we can take even more explosives if we'd so wish. Okay then. And again, look, as you can see, that is placed on our belt, because it is being carried in our pouches, as you can see, including the dog tags, which apparently we didn't actually give back. So yeah, let's go with some tank traps in here we need to blow up, I believe. Just don't quite remember where the bloody hell they are. Ah, here we go. Right, the explosives. There we are. Right. Generally speaking, a lot of... Yeah, okay, it's got a timer in the bottom left, though, as you can see. We have 22 seconds before everything gets blown sky high. So we need to hurry up and place these other ones. In the original Hidden and Dangerous, you could actually set the length of the fuse manually, which I actually really liked. I thought that was pretty cool. It was great for laying booby traps and things like that, but unfortunately in this game you cannot do that. It's not an option. There we go, there goes one of them. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Geronimo. There we go, and 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Power! Yes.
It was only a roadblock, not a tank. How much do you put back there? Okay. You've passed your explosives training. Go on to the next station.
Brilliant! Right, now, if you return to the basic training grounds, you can run through basic tactics as team leader. There we go. The commander will be waiting with your unit. So there we go. That is precisely where we shall go. This is where we get to learn probably one of the most important bits of the entire bloody game. This one opens, doesn't it, for some reason? The other one doesn't. Squad commands. Big deal. It's unfortunately a bit awkward to do as well, but never mind.
Gentlemen, here we have another candidate for team leader. You have to order the soldiers in the unit to run to the barrels.
And no further explanation is given, so I will instruct you, dear viewers, on how to do this. Right, so we have our 3 soldiers here. Herbert Bennett, Robert Zakowski, I believe that's pronounced. Zakowski, probably, actually. And John Glesby. And these gentlemen are going to run over to those barrels over there. To do that, we're going to press 0 on the numpad, followed by movement, so 1, and move there. Now this is all a bit tricky, if we're honest. Hopefully it should work if I just aim over there and press move there.
Advance over there! Roger, consider it done!
The reason I know this is a mixture of trial and error and reading the game's fairly extensive manual it originally came with. And what the hell are you doing, Zakowski? You fool. They seem to have all made it there, though, thankfully. Except for Sokovsky, who is hanging around over on the left for some reason. Right, okay, so we can press a number key to actually order an individual man to do something. So we press 3, we can order Sokovsky to move his butt a little bit closer to the barrels. So
advance over there. Understood.
There we go, and he's lying down for some reason. I do not know why. Apparently that's not good enough. Right, so there is an easier way of doing this. I generally tend to avoid the movement commands like that in the game because, well, you know, the AI is not particularly amazing. So
follow me. Consider it done. Understood.
Everybody follow me, and we shall walk over here to the barrels. Like good little soldiers. Please. Would help if you group together a bit tighter, if we're honest. Formation. Tight formation.
Titan formation.
Ah, have each of them crawl under the barbed wire. Oh, this will be fun. Alright, everyone over here. Come on. Get a move on. Pathfinding in this game, ugh, it's a bit awkward to say the least, but it gets the job done most of the time. Fortunately, right now they are being particularly ridiculous. As you can see. Right, so there's a lot to be said for the Lone Wolf campaign. It has to be said. You don't have to deal with this crap, fortunately. Now, hopefully, if I just go prone, yeah, they will follow me. So, gentlemen, this way. Would appreciate if you'd come along now. There is no other way to do this, really. I'm pretty sure the only way I can actually order them to do it this way is to get them to actually follow me through the barbed wire. Or they could get themselves killed on the barbed wire too. That would be great. So where the hell is the third one? What the hell are you doing over there still? Get a bloody move on. Clearly not a very inspiring team leader. There we go, mission successful. Boot camp is officially over and done with. And they're actually doing boot camp and not electing to skip it and not failing it as well. We've got some stat increases. So we can carry an extra 0.5 kilograms. Our stealth increased by 0.3%, which is nice, and our lockpicking increased by 0.5%. So there we go. Accomplished tasks: the assault course, shooting, throwing grenades, bazooka shooting, laying explosives, operating the vehicle, diving, obeying orders, and team action. So there we go. We can also show diary, which gives us a little kind of notebook, which gives us kind of, it's almost like like your journal in the Elder Scrolls games, I suppose. Actually, like more like Oblivion and Morrowind than Skyrim, I mean. Gives you a bit more flavour material, I suppose, to get you a bit more immersed in the game. I probably won't be reading it all, if I'm honest. Maybe I will. At the end of each mission, I'll read it. But right now, I'm not going to bother. So, maybe at the start of the next video, I'll do it. Who knows? Anyway, you can also get promoted as well. By the way, this guy's currently a corporal. So yeah, he could get promoted to a sergeant and so on and so forth. I think the highest rank I managed to get was a major once. I got someone promoted to major by the end of the game, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to save and continue. And I will see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye for now.